Hi, I'm Daniel. I guess I'm trying to find a self-belief in myself, a belief in myself. And also, I think I always worry about what other people are thinking of me.
Always?
So most of the time, so I don't do stuff because I'm too conscious of what other people are thinking of me. And I want that kind of belief in myself that so I won't care so much and I'll be more proactive in some of the things that I do.
So when you say you're worried about what other people think of you, now do you worry about what other people aren't thinking about you?
Sorry, say that again?
Are you more worried about what other people don't think about you?
No, I think I'm more worried about what they do think about me.
Okay. And how do you know that they're even thinking about you?
I guess I just think that they are. Maybe they're not.
Okay, so it's just something that you're thinking
Yeah.
for yourself. Okay, so it has no basis in reality out there. Does
Okay.
it? I mean, seriously, if you, when you say what they're thinking about you,
Yeah.
you know, what's the chance? And this is an exercise that I'm going to tap into a little bit about, you know, what people really think that people think about them and how far fucking off base that they are. Okay? Because, okay, what am I thinking about you right now? But don't worry yet. Okay? You know?
I think you're thinking I probably don't really have so much of a problem that I think that I have.
Okay, well, it's pretty selfish on your part because I was thinking about how nice his shoes look. Okay?
Thank you.
You know? So, it's to prove and to show that even though you think someone's thinking something about you, and I know this is all verbal on one level, so you know it may just go by, but a lot of it's going to settle in and solidify. It goes to show you that even if you're the best in the world at mind reading, because that's all we're doing, we're mind reading what these quote girls think. You know, we're going to go up there and say, hey, oh, you already got shut down. You know, that's all basis because you've already convinced yourself and you've made the choice. You've rejected yourself before they've even had a chance to reject you. Okay.
But it's not even so much them as like other people in the room. If I
Okay.
go to do something, it's not always just, you know, approaching women, but I'm always conscious of like other people in the room and, oh my God, you know, people are watching what I'm going to do, I'm going to fail and that everyone's going to see it.
And everyone's going to see it and just know that you're human, right? Okay. All right. That would suck to be human. But, you know, I mean, living on that level. Just curious, I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I mean, probably nothing. I mean, I just can't think. I don't know. I mean, it's just.
Well, you
something
do
I just
know.
think, yeah.
You're making mental pictures in your head, you know, and one of the things that we want you to do is to become aware of these processes because there's all these processes in your head that are going on no matter what. You know, you're thinking shit all the time. It may be subconscious to you, but your mind works very fast. You know, you walk in a situation, bam, you see a girl that you want to meet or whatever the situation is, and you have a flash in there, okay? Our job today is to slow down that process. We want to become aware of what's happening before you even think that. Because here's outside reality. I'll get rid of this. This is, by the way, change is good, you know. We have these processes. We have outside stimulation. Has nothing to do with us, okay? Then we have this little bullshit box, okay? What I consider the bullshit box, or it could be an enhancement box, whichever box it's going through. And then you have your brain. So what happens is we see this, kind of comes in, you know, just imagine like it's like a dam, you know, like a kind of generated stuff. Comes in the dam. Now, depending on what part of the dam it goes through this whole bullshit process here, and it makes up all this stuff, and then it convinces your head that's reality. When in fact, that's not reality. Okay. So what I want to do today, along with everyone here, is to be able to take this bullshit box, okay, where it's all turning and churning inside your head, and allow something else to go through it. Okay, so that you're not making the meaning that you're making, or at least you're making meaning that's useful for you. Okay, because we want to see the outside stimulus, we want it to filter in kind of a good way. It could be beneficial to you that leads you up. You know, if metaphorically, if you're going to go up to bat and this is going to generate some kind of stick to hit the ball with, and you end up with a toothpick, it's going to kind of suck, you know, and you're not going to be very useful, at least in your mind. However, if it goes in and generates like a 2x2 bat with a handle, whatever you're going to hit, you're going to connect. Okay? At least it makes the odds better. You never really can say, I'm going to go up to this girl, or I'm going to go up to this situation and get exactly what I want, because you never know what's going on. Okay? And this is one of the things I talk about a lot is you don't know what's going on with the girls. Let's say you want to go up and you're like, you've made up your mind, you've psyched yourself up, you're like, right on, I'm fucking the man, and then you go up there to this girl and she shuts you down. And you're like, I'm so useless, I can't do shit, blah, blah, she could have had anything go on. Her dad could have died. She could have just got, a divorce. Her kid could be sick. She could have everything. But guys, what they've been used to is adding all this extra meaning. And it makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense if you look at it logically, okay? It feels real. God knows it feels real because we've all been there. And this is the kind of the story of how I got there. A lot of people say, well, look at you, you run a topless club, a gentleman's club, you have 30, 40 girls, you're dating 3 and 4 girls at a time, everything like this, blah, 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 blah. Look at, you work out, everything to that nature. That means nothing, because I started from when I was 15 years old. Like I said, I tell the story, if you've heard it, I was fat, I was white, I had a bowl haircut, freckles, I was missing these 2 teeth till I was in, I think it was 10th grade, okay? So I wasn't the most sought after guy. I mean, I was horrible with women. I tell a story, when they played spin the bottle, when it landed on me, I was the one the girls were like, fuck, that sucks, and I was the one going, fuck, that sucks, because she's probably thinking that she's saying, fuck, that sucks. So, I've transformed. I made the choice to transform myself, physically, mentally, spiritually, if you want to go that way, in all aspects. So I've walked this walk, and I've converted myself, and I've done what I had to do to get to where I want to be. And another one of the things that I want to add into what it is that we're going to be learning is, where are you at right now? Where are you at, and where do you want to be? Because it's a huge, it's just a huge place that you need to go and where you're coming from. Because if you have little goals, you're going to get little results. And I don't think this is like some kind of goal-oriented kind of workshop, because it's really not. But I want you guys to really understand that, hey, you got to set something that's going to motivate you. It's going to stretch you. Because when I was 15 years old here, I had no idea that I would be, at this place here, running 40, 50 girls a night, and being completely content with pretty much every area of my life. In that terms. I had no idea, but I had a vision of where I needed to be. Okay, we're at this point now for you guys that we want to set something grand. Okay, we want to be able to think grand, think about where it is, because it does take time. And I say this all the time in the different seminars and stuff like this. You're going to get these guys that say, hey, transform overnight. You're not going to transform overnight. You can make changes that can realign things so you see things differently. And that's what we're going to go for today, that continue on a little pattern, because if this is, where you're at, and say it's a cliff over there, okay, it's about 2 feet in front of me, and we don't make any change, and you stay the way you are, you're just going to walk, and you're just going to go right off the cliff. Okay, if you make just the slightest, I mean, even if you make a change this much, okay, over the course of time, you're not even you're going to miss the cliff completely if it's over here, and you just have a little edge. Okay, so that's what we're going to go for. We're going to go for kind of little baby steps, if you want to call it. Okay, some of it may be big steps or baby steps. Okay, just don't think that you're going to be, turn the corner and you're going to take the magic pill and you're going to be Superman tomorrow, because it does take time if you're going to be effective at this over time, because things always change. Dynamics change. I noticed, from when I was young, I attracted, more of the younger girls, certain MILFs. Actually for real. I actually ended up sleeping with one of my friend's moms, and I didn't even know about it. Until later. That was very awkward. It's always weird when you're sitting there talking to them. They're like, oh yeah, my son went to Bonita Vista High School, and you're like, and he did this, and he did this, and you're like, oh, And when you see him at the party, you ignore him because you feel guilty. But that guilt's aside now. It's just the way it is. But what I want to say to that is, the dynamics are always going to change. Hey, now I'm developing grays in here. I was going to dye it just to look young for the camera, but I was like, fuck it, you know what? Don't worry about it. Shave the head. Always change the dynamics. When I was dating a certain amount of women, I went up to 280 pounds, and I purposely got myself fat to see if I could still attract a certain amount of women, because I didn't want to base it just on looks. There's times where I stopped working out, changed the hair color. This whole thing that we're going to be talking about today, and the frame that really works, is the whole process of experimentation. You have to experiment, because life changes. The only constant thing in life is change. What works for you now, if you buy into the whole, I have these patterns, and I always hear guys saying, well, I don't know what else to say. I've gone through all my patterns. Okay, well, I'm going to say, you know, patterns are cool, kind of, if they're yours and you've created them and you're fluid and you're flowing enough to be able to go where you want to with them. That's a good thing. I just want to make sure, let me step back a little bit. You know, I just want to make sure that you guys understand in this realm, this community, that everything changes. Nothing works 100%. Okay, I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're going with Mystery Style, Ross, any of these, you know, the big boys, Mihao, anything, Hypnotica, Steve Pickus, any of it. You're going to get little chunks. Okay, this is a very fluid type of community, and you have to get little chunks. Some stuff's going to work, some stuff's not going to work. Some stuff's going to work with you, with one person, it's not going to work with another. So you really have to have the understanding that we're going to all make the changes together, and you're going to find, and you're going to fail, and you're going to do things, and you're look like an ass, and you're not going to look like an ass, and then one day you're going to get to the point where you're going to be talking in front of a group of people. If you've taken that step and you've done what you're going to do, you're going to become successful at it. Okay? So, what was people thinking about you? I want to come back and just finish it up. So you understand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You understand everything I just said?
Most of it, yeah.
You know, it was talking to you.
Process it, yeah.
You weren't worried about what people thinking, were you?
No.
Okay, well, there you go. Because a lot of this has to deal with, you know, sometimes I'll use that for, you're going to go to Vegas, okay? Say from San Diego, you're going to go to Vegas. A lot of guys only have one route to get there. You know, they go this way. And if that road has a detour sign on it or something's going on with it, they can't get to the state. This is the state of sin, you know, the state of like, just do whatever you want to do, you know. We want to make sure that you have different routes and processes and pathways available to get there, not only neurologically, but mentally, you know, and all kinds of other ways. You know, we want to be able to, hey, go all the way up to Oregon, cut it back across, you know, go to Washington, D.C., come down to Texas, and shift back over this way. We want to be able to expand your mind frame, you know, and this is what I'm about as far as stuff like that. You know, they say deep inner game, things to that nature, pickup artist. I don't really consider myself a pickup artist. I consider myself more of a kind of a social scientist, and that loves women, that really loves women. So what I'm going to present here is to expand your own minds, to bring it out as far as you can, because the more room that you have to play in your mental realm, okay, the more choices you're going to have to be able to do things, to be able to step into who it is you want to be. You know, if you're in the little realm, and I know a lot of this stuff is pretty basic stuff, but I really got to make sure that you understand that this is what I'm about. This is what I'm about, is shifting beliefs, shifting frames, shifting your model of the world, so that you get what you want. And just to be open to that, because I know it's possible. I know that there's no limitation out there in the real world, okay? It only needs to do updating right in here. That's it. You just need to add more choices, okay? And I say this also in a lot of the seminars I do. If you only have one choice, you're a robot. You're fucking stuck, okay? You're just like, this is life. Hey, look, chick, oh, scared. You know, if you have two choices, you're in a dilemma. You know, oh, there's chick, ooh, scared, wait, I can do it. Wait, scared, I can do it. You're in a dilemma, okay? In your neurology, not in the real life, but in your own neurological pathways that produce choice in your mind. You really only begin to have true choice when you start at 3, you know. Okay, hot chick, scared, oh, I have to go do it. Fuck, it doesn't really matter. Or, okay, where am I gonna go? How much is she gonna like me? What can I bring to her life? Okay, when you start to really see the different choices, that's when you start to see a more rich view of the life that you're gonna live. Nobody's fucked up here, nobody's broken. Everybody works perfectly. Whether you don't believe in yourself, you have a belief that's very strong that you don't believe in yourself. So you already have a strong belief inside you. How can you utilize that structure to aim it where you want? Because it's a strong belief, and it's been there, it's been persistent, it's got tenacity, it's got all these positive aspects of it. You know, we want to be able to tap into that source. Because a lot of guys think, oh, I have this thing that's been with me for so long. Fuck, cool. Because that's a part that you can tap into. That is a well of resource, okay? And when you tap into that and you utilize the components out of that, and you utilize the resources and the power and the structure and everything like that, and you step into it and you add something else into it, boom, it's a pretty cool thing. Because, you know, the whole basis and the model is one thing. You're just, you know, it's like a camera or one of those little projection things you see on the wall. The projection unit works great. what slide are you putting in there? You know, you can take out the slide and put in, boom, another slide. Get a new picture, a new projection. But you want to understand that those parts inside yourself that you think that are fucking you up are very powerful, and to utilize those because they work great. They're very powerful. If they can affect the way you change your behavior, then that's some pretty powerful shit. So just realize that first before we really get into all this. You know, just want to set the frame. It's because if we just stopped right now and said everything here, we're gonna boom, do the little thing they do in Men in Black, you know, boom, 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 boom. Okay, where are you gonna go? You know, if you can do anything, and the past doesn't, you know, if you could erase everything right now in your mind, and the past was just the past, and we created, how compelling would you make your future? Because there was an interesting thing in that movie when he said, flash, 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 and the one guy's like, you're gonna change, you know, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be, you know, wonder you forgot about your husband or blah, blah, whatever he said in the movie. You know, Will Smith is like, no, he's a first girl, you're gonna get your hair taken care of. You're gonna go down, you're gonna, you know, what is the future that you're building for yourself? Imagine that right now, boom, we're in this room and we're in a time warp, okay? Everything you knew before is erased, okay? What is the compelling future that you wanna build that's gonna compel you to move forward, okay? We have to build that. If we do not build this image, okay, in your mind, depending on where it is, it's gonna be a little hard to get there. We don't have the goal, the map. Everyone think about real quick, and this is just to show you like an ideal scene where you see a hot girl and you want to get there and you see her and you start to get maybe perhaps that little nervous feeling, okay? Can anyone imagine that? Okay, everyone got that? You got that? Okay. Now I just want you to close your eyes and I want you to notice the structure that is portraying that image and that whole reality, okay? Is it in color? Okay, is it a movie? Is it black and white? Is it small? Is it big? Is there a frame around it? Okay, just become aware of that. Now what I want you to do, real quick, is I want you just to change it. If it's black and white, make it color. If it's a movie, imagine that you have pause and you hit pause. And what I want you to do is I want you just to imagine that you can just push it off into the distance as far as you can so it almost looks like a food stamp way back there. Okay? And then I want you to be aware, now as you think about it now, does it change some of the meaning? Does it seem different? Any internal feelings? Open your eyes. Okay? Did any of that seem different when you move stuff around? Okay? It can, less stressful. Okay? These are the things that you have to be aware of to be able to get in your own head and to do the things you need to do to make the changes. Because you can be out there in the field, and if you think that's reality, that's your reality. If you can stop and you can make those changes in yourself, and you can say, where, you know, just stop. Where am I fucking picturing this shit? What's going on? And at first, it's going to happen. You got to understand, this is not a process where you're going to go out there and just be like, bing. I can do it now. I'm constantly in the state of mind where I can do that kind of stuff, but it didn't happen early. It didn't happen quick. It was one of these things that just happened, you know, by practicing, getting in the mood, and becoming routine, and then becoming more routine, so it becomes habit. And the habit becomes conviction, and the conviction just becomes a way of state of being because that's what I think about all the time on an unconscious level. I've commanded myself to think that way. Okay, so these are things that I want you to be aware of: is how are you structuring these situations?